Welcome back to Workbench Wednesday. This week we're going to be doing quick and easy battle effects. You can see there I've done one spot already. I'm going to demonstrate how I did it on this one here. So I let some contrast paint build up a little bit too much there, so we have a nice kind of circular pattern to go off of. You can do any shape you want, triangle, square, circles. I think circles are more natural. We're going to be using mostly metallic paints, but with a quick wash of Skeleton Horde to just give it kind of that grimy look. Now this tutorial can be done with both a paintbrush and a sponge. I'll be demonstrating both in the video. So here we're going to be using Warp Lock Brass. You can use any dark metallic. And we're going to be making our first beginning circle on the model. So we just want to put a little bit of paint on our brush. And similar to dry brushing, we're going to wear away most of the paint. So that way we don't have a ton that we're applying at one given spot. Now this beginning circle, you generally want to have a little bit larger. And you're going to gradually work closer and closer to the center of the model in order to create that kind of rusted center effect. So here I'm now using lead Belcher. I'm going to use the sponge to give you an idea of how that works. So very similar, you're going to put it onto the sponge like a paintbrush. You're going to dab a little bit away on your paper towel or towel, whatever you're using. And you're going to try to apply it to the center. So this sometimes takes 2 coats as sponges are very porous and can absorb the paint pretty quickly. So here we are after that first one dried. We're back again for that second coat. And now we're on to our last metallic, which is Ironbreaker, or the latest metallic that you will be using for this project. You can swap, of course, with any color that you like, as long as it's your latest metallic. I'm going to work that away from the center of the rust spot and gradually blend it and kind of mix it in through dry brushing, just stippling it over that rust spot and connecting the other 2 layers of metallics. So we're just working that away from the center. Now to finish off the kind of rusted effect on the center, we're going to be using Skeleton Horde. You can use any brown kind of liquid paint that you'd like to wash over it. And what this is going to do is just mute the rust a little bit, take away kind of that glistening kind of shine that metallic paints tend to have by just kind of giving them another muted shade. And then if you want, you can always go back and re-highlight like I'm doing here with the lightest metallic again. Just kind of working it into the center so it's really bright compared to the exterior. And then, once again, applying another layer of Skeleton Horde just to bring it back down again. So there's really no way of messing this up. You just apply paints over top, and it gives you a pretty good way of weathering your model. Now you can make them really big like this side, or you can make them smaller like the one I just showed. And it's a great way of hiding little imperfections in your previous paint job. Last but not least, I'm just going to take a little bit of Warp Lock Brass again and just go around the exterior because this paint tends to have kind of like an oily texture to it. So by doing so, I'm just kind of going to almost use it in a similar way of Nuln Oil. I'm stippling around the outside of the rust, and then I'm going to wipe it away with my finger and give it a heavy wash with a little bit of water from my pot. So that way it kind of runs away from the rust and continues to improve that grimy, damaged, rust-worn, weathered look. And there we have our battle damage. So we'll see you next week for more Workbench Wednesday.